One of the reasons that we chose Montessori as part of our model in our early childhood education is because it focuses so much on the prepared environment.
Within Montessori education, there are three key components. There's the child, the prepared adult, the adult who is aware of the children and observing their needs. And then there's the prepared environment. As you look around our classroom, you can see that the shelves are all at the child's height. The tables are all built for the children to fit in. We do our best to make sure that everything is accessible to them. Besides just the physical arrangement of the materials on the shelf is the layout of the classroom. We make sure that we have adequate floor space so that children doing rug works have enough room to spread out their materials. We have enough tables for children who are writing and drawing to work at tables, and we have a balance between the two. We make sure that the pathways through the classroom are going to be conducive to how the children need to move about.
The prepared environment is the classroom that is child size and with high quality materials. So we prefer wooden materials over plastic. It lasts longer and it's more durable.
Through our Montessori training, actually, we have realized how incredibly important a prepared environment is. They have to be able to reach everything. They have to know where it goes. They have to know exactly how it's supposed to be treated and how it's supposed to be placed. It's amazing all the materials that we have, and every single thing in this classroom and in Mr. David's classroom is accessible to them and for them.
Right. And it's built for them. This is their classroom, and building it. Even just baskets. I didn't realize the importance of baskets for a built environment. It blew me away. And now I'm like, I'm going to Goodwill and I'm getting baskets. Because all of a sudden you put, whiteboards in a basket, they treat them with care. But if you have them in a plastic tote, they just throw them in. They don't care. The basket can break, and that's all part of this built environment. They treat it with so much more, with more care. And they're able to see all the materials, they're able to touch them. And they're all hands-on, and we've got scales and we have shapes, we've got the bead materials. It's just all right there and they can explore it at any time.
When we look around the environment, we imagine it from their perspective and do our best to make sure that it is accessible to them. It's a way of respecting the child in the environment. In the rest of their world, they are dealing with an adult-sized world and an adult-paced world. And here in the classroom, this is their space. And so this is a place where they can be successful. They can take care of their own clothes because they can reach the hooks. They can take out their own snack because they can reach the shelf. They can pour their own water because the pitcher is a size that they can handle. And so everything that we set up in the classroom, we take the child's perspective and imagine it from how they are going to handle the materials and what is going to let them be successful. Before we put any material on the shelf, we practice it. And we go through all of the steps and make sure that all of the materials are on the tray and available to the children. So there's never a missing part. There's never a broken piece. We take very careful inventory at the end of the day to make sure everything is replenished so that the children can do for themselves.
If the environment is not prepared and a child takes something off the shelf that they want to work with and it's not a complete set, they go, how can I do this? It's not complete. So we have to be diligent to make sure that all materials are in place. The children learn that when I take a rug out to lay it on the floor, I do it in an orderly fashion. I take my rug and I carry it very carefully. I gently place it on the floor. I open it up. Then I go to a shelf I pick up my materials and I carefully carry them to my rug. I take things out one at a time. It's very orderly. And then when I'm finished, everything goes back in the basket and it goes back on the shelf in its correct place. Then I roll up my rug very carefully and I place it in the basket.
When the environment is prepared for the child, it helps in control of error for the child. It helps the child do their work smoothly without running into little problems.
Every day, at the end of the day, we go through and we straighten the classroom. Eventually, the children will take responsibility for straightening the classroom and making sure materials are in their proper place and that all materials are present. So if something goes missing because a child pockets it usually, or they hide it somewhere, they love to do things like that and play, then we take it off the shelf and we talk to the children about it.
You're number one.
Shane, did you figure out the problem?
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
One.
The number one is missing. Number one is missing.
I knew that.
And now, when somebody tries to do the short bead hangers, they do not have the numeral card for number one.
And lo and behold, in a few days, it'll come back to us.
At the beginning of the year, we had some materials, but they were plastic. They were kind of, I don't know.
Not very nice.
Not very nice, and they didn't treat them very nicely. So when I was looking at all the stuff and everything's wooden and very fragile and there's beads everywhere, I was like, this is gonna be a disaster. I don't know where these materials are gonna disappear to. But once they were actually here and the kids handled them, they were so careful and so particular with the materials. And that really blew me away. I didn't expect that at all.
I would have to say part of a prepared environment, doing it the way that we see in our model, involves love. So love, to me, is a core consideration in how we prepare the environment. It's not just in how we take care of the things, but it's in how we take care of ourselves.
So one of the important parts of a Montessori classroom is the adult and the role that the adult in the classroom takes. And it requires a little bit of transformation on our part. We have to slow down. We try to model as best we can, moving slowly and gracefully through the classroom. We certainly could do things more efficiently and quicker as adults because, we can carry through things at a time. But when we are with the children in the classroom, we model carrying one thing at a time. We carry the tray, we carry the mat separately so that we are constantly an example for them and they start to model that. And by using those techniques and having those habits, then they start to adopt them. And when they carry things one at a time, they're then able to be successful. It's really imperative that the adults in the classroom adjust themselves to understanding that this space is all about the children.
The prepared adult is when the adult stands back, the teacher stands back and lets the child figure out the problem. It's basically your self-awareness in the classroom and not letting your emotions as a teacher and wants to get in the way of the child's learning process.
Oh, yeah. I know how to do this, honey.
Sometimes children spill. You're with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds and, every day someone is spilling something. That's okay. It happens. It's part of their learning process. And, we don't need to get mad at them. We hold that because it's their, that's how they learned. When they spill, they clean it up, and they have materials here to clean it up. There's a mop, a child-sized mop. There's towels that is available to them, and they can clean that up themselves.
Really being able to come to a place where you can be calm in the classroom and really modeling for the children, and every aspect of what you're doing is about about them and doing the best for them and understanding them and where they are.
When you're in the classroom, a child knows that you love them by how you respond to them and how you speak to them, and you know, it's very evident.
From our point of view, a well-prepared environment is an expression of our caring and compassion and respect for the children.
Who are you? What makes you laugh and what makes you smile? What are your dreams? Who do you care about and love? All the good things that we live make us strong so we can give. All the good things that we live make us strong so we can give to others.